Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and making some really good trades, and let's get right into it. And right now, just to start off, I just want to congratulate the gold members and the crypto members inside the Discord. You guys are getting some nice trades from Aiden here, some nice trade setups, and he actually bagged a nice little winner today at 9.73% win. And I think he did take a loss the other day on the ETH trade, which is unfortunate because you can't win all the other ones, but we took some nice wins the other day as well with a nice close on the Solana short, which was up over 71%. So if you guys want to get access to the trades, signals, the link is in the description. All right, let's get right into it. Let's take a look at Bitcoin on Market Cypher. We can see that the market actually got a bit of a downtick today in the Nasdaq. Sorry, not this. That's the Dow Jones. In the Nasdaq, we actually saw it end like flat on the day. And it's actually down at the moment because of Tesla and Netflix earnings, but we'll follow up more with that. Let's just cover Bitcoin first. And taking a look at Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we do have some red money flow, and we did get a green dot I think last night. Yeah, we did get a nice little green dot print. Unfortunately, we do have red money flow, which is not the greatest. Same thing on the 1-hour time frame, we do have some red money flow. But on the daily time frame, we still have green money flow at the moment. And if we take a look at the 12-hour time frame, we could very well potentially bottom and then maybe an A wave here, and then go back up to a B wave, and then back down to the C, into a C wave, back down to maybe 28,500. Although we'll have to see how this plays out, because if Bitcoin pumps here and takes out this high, this will invalidate the fifth wave, which means the fifth wave has not topped out yet. In my opinion, I still think it's got a bit of room to run. I think we're going to get a nice little run in the Bitcoin price, potentially as high as 35,800, although that is not 100% guaranteed, right? We have a green dot at the moment, maybe signaling a potential bottom. We'll have to see if this plays out. If everything can hold up and the market doesn't start to roll over yet, then Bitcoin could very well pump up to these levels here. But if the market starts to roll over right now, this could have some negative connotations for Bitcoin. We could break the $30,000 support, which, by the way, we are under at the moment. We are struggling to stay above it. We actually have a couple candle closes below, and if Bitcoin starts to move down, then I do have some support levels outlined for you guys. Right here at the $28,000 level is going to be a level that I'm going to be watching. Again, this was the 50% retracement, and I think that we could do something like this, where we start to come down in a wave 2, and then you really don't want to miss the wave 3, because that's going to be like an exponential move towards the upside. It could be like a 20 to maybe like 15 to 25% pump, and that could bring us as high as 35,000, and then we'll maybe get some consolidation into a wave 4 and a quick and final pump into wave 5. And again, I think that's going to be our final fifth wave. So this is the fifth. This would be the fifth wave right here. So extend it out, and that would be probably our last fifth wave, and then we'll get an ABC correction then. And again, that could coincide with the markets going down as well. Although we have to trade these charts separately, right? We have correlations, but sometimes the market can go down and Bitcoin can go up, right? So it's possible even if the market goes down, Bitcoin can go up, and it will need a catalyst for that. We don't know what that catalyst is until the day of, right? But what you can see in advance is what the charts are doing. Right now, we are still getting some bullish consolidation. Nothing too bad on Bitcoin. So again, still looking quite bullish. Taking a look at wave edge here, we have been getting some selling, like I mentioned, in the past couple of days. Let's take a look at the 4-hour time frame. Again, we did get some green crosses here, and I think we saw some nice buying on the 30-minute time frame as well, right? But right now we're not getting too much price action, just some sideways chop. I think really we're just waiting for option X maybe to be over, and then maybe next week we'll get our breakout, because after all, it is option expiration week today, and it was Whipsaw Wednesday today, as you guys can probably tell. The Nasdaq pumped up to as high as 15,930, and then now it's back down to 15,752. All right, so let's actually cover the indices here, and we'll take a look at Tesla. Tesla is actually down 4% after earnings here, so down 4%. Probably going to retest this channel that I have drawn out, so a potential breakout in a retest, and if it does go higher, then we're going to keep floating up, maybe even as high as 360 or and above. Who knows? We obviously could retest these highs right here as resistance, which would probably be my next major level of resistance, which would be right around 315. But if we do go higher, then you got some major resistance right around 365. And taking a look at Netflix quickly again, guys, this is a reason why you don't really want to trade too much during option X. You guys can see that things that go into the stratosphere come back down. Right now, Netflix is down about 8 to 9% in the after hours after the earnings report. So again, that's going to be a pretty hefty drop tomorrow. We'll see how the market reacts. And again, that's just not the only earnings. You know, we actually had, I believe, United Airlines that was up 3% after earnings. So that one's doing nicely. But just be careful with these airlines. We could see that, we had the Delta Airlines beat earnings actually, and then it gapped up and it was consistent selling throughout the last couple of days. And now it's starting to come back up once again. So maybe the buy the dippers are coming in, but eventually this will come to an end. So just be careful when you are trading these markets, okay? Now let's take a look here at the S&P 500. And again, I told you guys we are tagging some major resistance here. We are still into some pretty heavy resistance right around this area. And if a reversal does come, don't be surprised. It would be a pullback and then potentially a buy the dip moment as well, because we are in a very strong uptrend. But eventually, when this uptrend does start to come to an end and the momentum goes away and the steam runs out, that's going to be your topping signal potentially. And if you see a high volume reversal, then that's going to mark the top for the market. Taking a look at the NASDAQ, same thing right here, very overextended. And again, we're long on the tooth here. And if we do get a pullback, it would be buy the dip moment. And we do have a lot of gaps to fill on the Qs. I think they're all over the place at this point. I think I've outlined these with the white chart. So we have one down here. We actually have a couple more right here. So we have a gap here, and then we have another gap down here, down here, down here. And I mean, the gaps go all the way down. Eventually, all these gaps will fill, but it's just a matter of time, right? And the market can float up until then. Light volume, good economic data. Maybe we're getting some slightly, not as great earnings. Maybe on some big tech companies. That's why the Qs might start to pull back here, and then we'll get a calm down in the big caps, and we may get a pump up in the small caps. And that's exactly what's happening. The Russell 2000 is actually breaking out towards the upside. Same thing for the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones was up very nicely today. If the Dow Jones does pull back, then your next support level is going to be at 34,500, and that's going to be a buy the dip moment. Taking a look at oil here, oil actually tagging that 200-day resistance once again. And again, a little bit weak today on oil. I think oil was down about maybe 0.5%, and nat gas was actually up a little bit at the end of the day. So not too much action on nat gas. But overall, nat gas is turning the corner. It is getting ready to break out, and you really want to be on the right side of this trade here. And I cannot stress this enough. You want to be long these resources when they are at their 40-year lows. You don't want to be shorting them, right? You want to be shorting them when they're at their all-time highs, right? Obviously, when you're getting a bit of a topping signal, that's when you want to short. But when you want to long, it's going to be at the lows, right? And again, it's obviously difficult to catch the bottom. That's why you got to average in sometimes. But when this move starts, it's going to be hot and heavy, and a lot of people are going to miss it, and they're going to be very upset when that happens. All right, moving on. Let's take a look at gold here. And again, gold is actually breaking up towards the upside, and we can see that the dollar is down again a little bit today. And again, I just love gold so much. It is very nice to see gold perform very well, holding that support around 1915, like I've outlined many times in the past. And that 1915 level is holding very nicely. Your next level of resistance is obviously going to be that $2,000 mark. And after that, you got your all-time high at 2,077. And oh boy, are we gonna make an all-time high soon? Who knows? We're gonna have to see. Let's take a look at silver. Silver also breaking out, looking a little bit weak at the moment. I think silver's starting to run into some pretty heavy resistance. If it starts to come back down, I might buy in at this pivot low here. But for the time being, silver is also a little bit extended on the daily time frame. However, looking at the weekly, it's still got a lot of room to run. It could even get as high as $28. So don't be surprised if you see silver start to moon up. And again, it could be very volatile as well, similar to like how nat gas is. I've seen 9%, 8% up days in silver. Okay, all right. I think that's it for me tonight. I don't really have anything else to add. I can just cover the hash ribbon cross once again. And again, hash ribbons have crossed. We got, two capitulation signals actually, but no meaningful move towards the downside yet. This thing could start to pump and then dump afterwards. It does not have to dump immediately just because you got a capitulation signal. And sometimes it doesn't have to dump at all. we have like a 2% drop here in the capitulation signal on the Bitcoin price, and then a buy signal, and then a massive move up of 59%. Okay. All right, that covers it for me tonight, guys. If you have more questions, feel free to join the Discord. The link's in the description. Love you all. Peace.